All right. Hi. Oh, I think we're almost live. So while we are waiting on people to come in, what I'm going to play is I'm just going to play a song to help ground and center everybody. So this song is actually, I'm just going to start playing it and so that we can all ground. We'll get started pretty soon. So just giving it a little bit of time for everybody to come in and all right. So I really like that song. So that song is actually by the Crow Women, and that's on their album called Crow Goddess. So I would highly recommend it. You can Google them, or I believe they're also on iTunes. They sing a lot of really good pagan chants. And so that's a really good song to ground and center to. So if you're just now joining us, please feel free to comment. I want to see where everybody is coming from. I'd always love to see where people are coming from. My name is Brandon, and I am the National Outreach Officer for Covenant of the Goddess, and I'm based here in New Mexico. So a lot of the stuff that I'm going to do is based on my own coven's traditions of how we do rituals, and so I wanted to just take some time to celebrate Lughnasadh with you. And so first, what we usually do is we begin with a grounding and centering. And so that we kind of already did with the song. And so like the song goes, earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. And so the elements help you to balance. And so it helps to get rid of any kind of negativity or anything like that. Um, so I wanted to take a moment. And so if you want to just do a little bit of a grounding, you can take a deep breath in. I usually do 3 times and out. So in and out, and in and out, and in and out. I think that was 3 times. So the next thing that we would do is we would cast the circle. So, and since a lot of you will be joining us at different times, I'm going to cast the circle in a way that usually people will line up. And so the way that we usually do it is so we cast the circle with the elements. And so I have my Lughnasadh altar here for you all to see. I want to show everything to you as I'm using them so you can kind of see this is my athame. And so one way that we get ready to cast the circle is you take your athame or any other kind of tool, and then usually you have salt and water on your altar. And so I take 3 scoops of salt with the athame, and so this has salt in it. And I do at least like 3 scoops. So we got one. We always do things in threes as witches or as Wiccans. So there's 3 scoops of salt. All right. And I've got my chalice up here. Then I got little baby chalice of water. And then so what you usually do is you would go around the circle and you would just kind of run around it and bless everybody. And so uh, with fire, well, this is with water. So with water and earth, we cleanse this circle. And then the next thing that you would do is you want fire and air. And so usually you would have someone go around and smudge them with an incense of some kind. And so I'm going to light some just basic incense here, Nagjampa incense. And with fire and air, we cleanse this circle. And that's that. And so I invite everybody to remove all their negative thoughts and just be here for the holiday that is Lughnasadh. So the next thing that we would do is we would have a maiden in our circle and they would sweep the circle to cleanse it of negativity. In some circles, you go around 3 times. Some of them you go around 9 times, and then some of them you go around 9 times and you go top to middle to lower realm. And it could take a while, but we're just gonna smudge everybody or sweep out all the negativity from everyone here. And that's what that's used for. All right. All right. So the next thing that I would really love to know how everybody else casts their circles. There's a lot of different traditions and ways you can cast a circle. That's just something to really cast the circle and strengthen the circle. So then we usually would say something the high priest and priestess would say, in the name of the Lord and the Lady, we create this sacred place together to create energy, to make change, and we cast a shield against all negativity. I consecrate this space as sacred space, so mote it be. And then now we can call the quarters. And so we usually start in the east, and I don't have altars with me, so I'm going to use my bracelet to call the quarters. And so first we'll start with east, that's air. So I call to the spirits and guardians of the watchtowers of the east, ancient ones of air. Please join us in our circle today. Blessed be. I call to the spirits and guardians of the watchtowers of the south, ancient ones of fire. We ask you to join us in our circle today and bring us passion. Blessed be. We call to the spirits and guardians of the watchtowers of the west, ancient ones of water. Please join us in our circle and bring us emotional awareness of everybody around us. Blessed be. I call to the spirits and guardians of the watchtowers of the north, ancient ones of earth. Please join us today and help us to ground and center as we celebrate Lughnasadh together. Blessed be. Now, I want to take this time to feel free to talk about any of the gods and goddesses that you would like to invoke for the holiday. Specifically, I wanted to talk about Lughnasadh, the holiday. So basically, what is Lughnasadh? So it is an Irish word that means game or celebration of Lugh. And so we take the time to celebrate and honor Lugh, the Celtic sun god. And he's also the god of craftsmanship. And we also want to honor the goddess, his foster mother, Tailtiu, the earth goddess. And so many contests were held in their honor to celebrate the first harvest. That's what this festival is about, is the first harvest. And so it's a time of playing games. It's a time to really celebrate bringing in the harvest for the first time. And so I'm going to light a candle. And so Lugh is basically, he reminds us to always work and improve upon our own skills. And so, he's strong. He's Lugh of the strong arm. And so he helps us to be strong and also have fun while we're doing it. So I'm going to light the candle and feel free to invoke any god or goddess that you work with for the holiday. And I'm just going to light those and let's see if that works. This is also called Lammas. That is actually the Christian celebration of the first harvest. So a lot of the elements come from the Lughnasadh, and so it was an Anglo-Saxon term that means loaf mass. So it's all about bread, all about wheat. The first harvest, the first fruits have been harvested. So as you can see, I've got um, an apple on our altar to represent the first fruit. And so what I want to do now is just take the time to talk about, and this happens in a lot of religions. They have a lot of similar parallels to it. So they celebrate the bread and the wine, and so that's why um, a lot of the inspirations come from pagan celebrations. So earth my body, bread, water my blood, uh, and that's what we use to symbolize the blood of the gods and the body of the gods, and helping us to become to invoke them. So basically, what this holiday is about is we are here to the first half of the year. We're coming back from winter, and so we have it's a continuous circle, right? And so we've spent the time planting seeds for the spring, and then so we start to make plans to make changes and give them time to grow and to really think about this. So this is the time of year as the first harvest to start reaping what you sow, basically, and so turning your plan into action. And so, summer solstice was kind of the height of all of the energy, and now is the time to harvest all of that energy that we've been planning and planting for the whole year. And so, as the nights will start getting longer and the days will start getting shorter. So, this is a time to really say what we mean, say what we want to do, and to create change in ourselves and in our community. So, Uh, we did a ritual a while back for Lughnasadh, and a simple magic working would be, we all wrote on a piece of parchment, what is it that you have been talking about for a while? What is it that you've been thinking about for a while? A plan that you wanted to take to come to action, and really write that down and say, oh yeah, it's really time for me to start doing that. And I would recommend putting it somewhere that you can see it every day and remind yourself, oh, that's what we should be doing. That's what I need to be doing because I had thought about doing that. An example I can think of is I live a little far from my family, is trying to make sure that I put that effort to talk to them. And so uh, when I see a reminder every day, I'm like, oh, wow, I should send them a text. I should call them. I should engage with them in some way instead of just talking about it. If you're all talk, you're all talk, right? So this is the time to really walk the walk. And that's so you can take a moment to do that and, think about what is something you've always wanted to do? What's something that's been in the back of your head? And you know come up with an action plan to really make sure you get all of that done uh, for the year. So, and I would love to know about what other magic workings that you all do, either by yourself or with a group to celebrate the holiday. Let's see. All right, I'm just going to give everybody a moment here. All right. So the next thing that I would do is the symbolic great rite. And so this is something that we all do. And this is a time to do our cakes and ale. And so usually you would grab your chalice And in our case, I've got wine. And so this chalice it was left by a friend of mine who was very, very into the Celtic path. And so she left this. And so we have this as our chalice. And so, and you've seen the athame. And usually you would either have a high priest and priestess or two people do this, or you can do it yourself. And it's a symbol of it's always a symbol of sacred sexuality and the joining together. And so you would just, as you're dropping it into your chalice, you would say athame cup, sword to chalice, lance to grail, man to woman, god to goddess, together they bring blessedness to life. And then so that's blessed. And then you would pass this around the circle. So then you would say, some of you may know what to say. So may you never thirst, and you would take a drink and then pass it around the circle. I have cornbread to celebrate the first harvest. So I would be interested to see what everybody else uses for their cakes and ale for this holiday. And so I've got cornbread, corn and grain. And so usually you would just take your athame and you would bless it uh, 3 times. And then you would say, may the God bless this corn and grain with all things needed. And so, as I said earlier, you can see so many different parallels between why we do this. This was, one of the older ceremonies that every ancient people have been doing for a while. And of course, more modern nowadays, you think of taking in the body of Christ, taking in the blood of Christ, and this is something that has been historical and that we ancient pagans have been doing for a long time. Is the taking in the body and the blood of the gods, so you can become more like them. So I wanted to take a moment to, well, and of course I forgot you would pass your plate of cakes around, and so you would say, "May you never hunger," and then you would just take some, pass that around. Some people do it reverse. I think that our coven has reversed it so that we do the cakes first, and then you would wash it down with the ale because it's kind of depending on what you're eating, like bread, usually it can be kind of dry, and so you want to wash that down with something. So whatever you're comfortable doing. And this is a time, and usually at this time in the ritual, you would take the time to share stories. And so I wanted to plug in. So once a month, I volunteer with Ardentane, and that's ardentane.org, and I can comment that here for you. And this is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. And so I decided to volunteer once a month and to help build cabins. It's a pagan learning center and retreat center for people to go and to learn and to just relax. It's a very, very relaxing place. And so they will do classes. We'll be sharing a lot of the classes that they're doing on our Facebook page. And they do some amazing things. And a lot of the classes they're doing for now online uh, because of the coronavirus, they're only, I believe, $10 for it's like a 2-hour class. And so for non-members and for members, it's for free. And so I would recommend going to their website and see what they have going on. And so once a month, I go and volunteer to help build onto the campus, help to maintain the land. It's in the Jemez Mountains here in New Mexico, and the dirt's red and it's beautiful. Um, but we always invoke Lou to join us because of the strong arm to keep us strong and engaged and having a good time. And so now what I want to do is just take a moment to release the God and Goddess. So thank you so much for joining us in our circle today, and uh, be with us as we celebrate Lughnasadh together. And so now you would release the quarters, spirits and guardians of the watchtowers of the east. Well, you would end so in of the north. Thank you for joining us in our circle today. Blessed be. Spirits and guardians of the watchtowers of the west, water, thank you for joining us today and be with us and guide us. Blessed be. Spirits and guardians of the watchtowers of the south, ancient ones of fire, join us. Thank you for joining us and always be with us to help us be passionate together. And finally, spirits and guardians of the watchtowers of the east, air, help us to keep learning and be inspired and to learn from each other. Blessed be. And then this is the time where we would open the circle. And so you would cut open the circle and then you would say, the circle is open carefully, yet unbroken. And then merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. So I and that's a simple ritual that you can do, and I'm sure that I would love to see what some rituals that you all do. I think I'll post a picture of the altar just so you all can see it a little bit better, and I'd love to see pictures of everybody's altars, and so maybe I'll put something out so I can see how everybody celebrates the holiday and just learn from everybody. And so I also have this centerpiece too. This was given as a gift for some people at Ardentane. They went to I believe it was Scotland, Ireland, one of those Celtic places. And, this just looks like a wonderful centerpiece for the holiday. So, this holiday really bringing in those Celtic influences. And so, uh, other than that, that's all I have for you. Thank you guys so much for joining uh, today, me on this ritual. If you would like to invite you to join us on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, we have another Wednesday with Witches Zoom meeting, and that's open to everybody. And so we have the event on our events page. And so if you'd like to register for that and be a part of the conversation, and so we can see everybody from all over, we'd love to hear from you. So again, merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Blessed be.